Welcome to Electrified. It's your host, Dylan Loomis. So first item today, as you can see, Lightning Motors, a leading provider of specialty commercial electric vehicles for fleets, and Forest River, a Berkshire company, announced they've entered into a strategic partnership agreement to deploy 7,500 zero-emission shuttle buses. This was actually one of the hottest stocks yesterday in the day trading world as it kind of broke out on this news, but this is actually a pretty big deal for the electrification movement overall. As you can see, the deal has an estimated value of $850 million, which calls for Lightning E-Motors to build the electric powertrains and provide charging services to Forest River over the next 4.5 years. So Lightning Motors will be building these zero-emission powertrain systems in Loveland, Colorado, and then they will ultimately ship them to Forest River's factory in Goshen, Indiana, where the final product will then be assembled. But part of why this is so important is because Forest River is the leading shuttle bus market producer in North America with 8 manufacturing buildings and more than 500,000 square feet of production space. The CEO of Lightning E-Motors said this has the potential to be the largest contract ever in the electric shuttle bus market, and we believe it'll be the catalyst for other large commercial vehicle OEMs and fleets to accelerate their adoption of commercial electric vehicles. And of course, very simply, the more exposure that the rest of the world, commercial included, has to electrification, the better for retail adoption as well. And one other quick news item, so the Ford Mustang Mach-E is looking at a 6-week delay due to, you guessed it, the chip shortage. As you can see, July 5th is the cutoff date, so orders that were produced or scheduled from July 5th and on will be affected by the delay. Vehicles they say built prior to July 5th, would not be impacted. Ford said they would give affected customers 250 kilowatt hours of free charging through the Ford Pass app. So this could be viewed as anywhere from $30 to $100 based on where you're charging. And they said once your vehicle receives the required chip, your vehicle status will be updated. So just a reminder, as I said yesterday, every automaker is struggling with the chip shortages. Green only shared a video of testing the new Tesla Auto Park that Tesla deploys seemingly so far only on the refreshed Model S. Of course, he's not driving a refreshed Model S, so I don't know if he hacked his own system to have access to this or what's going on there. But the news here is that this is camera-based, unlike previous ultrasonic-only implementation, so it can use just drawn parking lines and also centers in them rather good, unlike the ultrasonic version. So this video really is not that exciting. Essentially, the car backs up, pulls forward a little bit, and then backs in. But there's no cars really that he's trying to avoid here. But the point here is that Tesla has seemingly moved the auto park to the vision-only system. You know how Tesla said they were going to that single stack, basically trending to have everything run on that single stack that is purely vision-based. It looks like auto park is now part of that system, at least on the refreshed Model S, according to Green the Only. And it looks like Auto Park can automatically pause for things like bikes, motorbikes, moving objects, pedestrians, and poor visibility. Possibly one of the most interesting news items of the day, Tesla filed to produce 5 more versions of the Model Y at Giga Shanghai, some for export. So Tesla basically filed several applications in this new batch, and they appear to be all new versions of the Model Y. I did go ahead and do an image translate of these images, but honestly, it didn't really give us that much exciting information. So what we're looking at here is 2 Model Y standard range versions, one with a domestically produced motor and one with an imported motor. And let's keep in mind, Tesla did recently launch the Model Y standard range in China, with deliveries expected to start next month. And because Tesla applied to produce 2 versions of the Model Y standard range in China, it could mean one of them will be exported to another market. And the other 3 new versions will be the Model Y long range rear wheel drive, the Model Y long range dual motor, and a new Model Y performance. But it's this Model Y long range rear wheel drive that is kind of surprising because it's not yet on the configurator for Tesla China. So this of course is interesting because Tesla typically streamlines their production, minimizing the choices so that manufacturing is as efficient as possible. But now Tesla having 5 versions of the Model Y all coming from Giga Shanghai would indicate, once again, they're focusing on exports. And as I've said multiple times, Tesla needs to manufacture specific vehicles for specific markets because each market is very different. Each market has a price point that Tesla has done the research on and knows where it needs to be. Then they take all of that data and figure out, okay, what type of vehicle can we produce and at what cost, given all of the current circumstances, the chip shortages, the supply and demand levels, all of that, and then make the decisions according to that data. And look, I could sit here for 20 minutes and speculate as to why they're doing this or try to put a spin on it, whether it's bullish or bearish. I think it's a waste of time. It doesn't really give us any actual information. Tesla is going to make decisions like this that we're just not privy to the why, unfortunately, at least not yet. But just for fun, I would love to hear what you guys think. Is this bullish? Is it bearish? Does it say anything about the demand in China? Let me know your best guess below. But before we move on, Kelvin Yang shared that the battery capacity for these new models ranges from 60 to 78.4 kilowatt hours, this being for the Performance Model Y on the high end. And I just want to clarify something real quick. This report about Tesla confirming 100% of its scrap batteries are recycled and 0% end up in landfills, this is specifically for battery packs that Tesla receives or is in possession of. So things from research and development or scrapped projects or, damaged packs that come back from customers. This is not including like every single Tesla battery pack that was ever created. It's only the ones that Tesla receives back into its possession in whatever way, shape, or form that may happen. So most batteries Tesla receives today are still pre-consumer, meaning they usually come through R&D and quality control. Batteries that have been deployed to the consumer, of course, most of them are still on the roads or in power walls being used because they last for a long time. And as such, Tesla only receives a very limited number of these batteries from the field. So just wanted to make that clear. And they confirm it on the impact report, the closed loop recycling system that will ensure 100% of Tesla batteries received, not 100% of Tesla batteries in existence. So this is cool. The city of Sudbury in Ontario unveiled the first fleet potentially of Model 3s for paramedic use. So they are adding 4 Model 3 vehicles to its fleet for paramedic use, and the 4 Standard Range Plus Model 3s were delivered on June 15th and went into service a few days ago on August 5th. The EVs are used by community paramedics for non-emergency use, so no interior modifications were necessary. So to the community of Sudbury, congratulations and good for you. Just real quick, I'm not entirely sure what's going on here, but Coinbase confirmed it has been working with Elon, SpaceX, and Tesla. And if you take a look right here from Coinbase earnings, it says in the last sentence, in recent months, we formed partnerships with industry leaders like Elon, PNC, SpaceX, and Tesla. Kind of interesting, they mention Elon Musk as separate from Tesla. Maybe I'm reading too far between the lines, if you will, but I thought this was an interesting little blurb, something to watch in the future for sure. And remember that Blade battery rumor that was going around about BYD supplying those Blade batteries to Tesla in Q2 of 2022? Well, BYD broke the silence and it basically said, nope, that's not happening, ultimately denying the rumor. So going to the image translate, today BYD responded that the company had never indicated to the media it would be interested in Tesla pulling the supply of Blade battery, and it does not indicate the Blade battery will be used for the Model Y. So that rumor is nixed. No Blade batteries for Tesla, at least not yet. So the opposition to Giga Berlin is seemingly starting to decline based on the number of objections. So the second iteration of Giga Berlin's documents received 110 objections, which was down from the initial 373 from the first iteration of the documents and the plans. And the latest number, this 44 objections raised against Tesla's latest plans, could then be seen as a significant improvement in terms of the public perception. But just so you know, the deadline for objections is August 19th, so they have about 8 more days. And then after August 19th, the Brandenburg State Office for the Environment would decide if the project requires yet another public hearing. If so, that would probably be mid-September. So hopefully the Giga Berlin detractors are getting exhausted, it's getting to the end, and we can finally put this chapter behind us, at least for now. And I want to ask you guys something. So with regard to the Model S delays, basically Fred on his podcast from Electric was saying that he thinks part of the reason Tesla may be delaying certain Model S owners is the owners who paid the $10,000 less, delaying those orders in favor of delivering to the owners that paid the additional $10,000 price increase. So Fred said that several pre-price increase Model S buyers had delivery dates pushed are saying that they could take delivery this month if they update their orders and accept the new $10,000 higher pricing. In other cases, Tesla advisors said it was related to certain features like wheels that they needed to change as the reason to update the order and get the new $10,000 price increase. And the kicker is that many of those who don't want to update their orders with the new pricing are seeing their new delivery timelines being pushed to next quarter, if not next year. So I didn't see any actual anecdotes of this shared. If you guys know or you personally are in this situation, please let me know what's going on, what your experience has been, but just something to put out there. Once again, would love to hear what you guys think about the situation. Just so you guys know, I personally am absolutely not drawing the conclusion that Tesla is doing this, basically, jeopardizing relationships with good customers for an extra $10,000 this quarter, maybe instead of future quarters. I can't imagine they would actually knowingly make that decision. Maybe it's just a few anecdotes or coincidences that, Electric and Fred are kind of building that case off of. But once again, let me know what you guys think. But that's all for today. Please take a second to like the video if you did. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and a big thank you to all of my Patreon supporters.